Hi everyone, welcome back to Chop's Garage. I've been out and made a bit of a bulk buy. Now there is one extra car that isn't here, which I have bought, which is a 2013 Honda CR-V automatic, which is about, I think, had about 85,000 miles on. I've done the deal on it, but I'm not due to pick it up for a couple of days. So let's have a little look at what I did get. We'll walk our way through all of them, but I think we'll start off with the buy of the day. And this is the car that the video is titled on, because I don't think I'd have got this car had I been there getting the other three, to be perfectly honest. So I was just coming back from a test drive in the Freelander at the end there, which we'll get to in a bit. I was bringing that back into the Part X yard, and I happened to spot one of the sales guys from the side of the business I deal with coming in this back into the Part Exchange yard. So as I came alongside him, I wound the window down. I went, "Have you just taken that in Part X?" He went, yeah. He said, "It's a beauty, isn't it?" I said, "Why is that?" And you're going to see in a minute why specifically it's a bit of a beauty. So I hot fitted it back into the showroom to do the deal on the rest of the cars. But I said to my chap, I said, "Oh, I've just seen a Kia Picanto came in," and he gave me a wry little smile. I said, "Damn, I was going to hide that one from you." Like I say, we'll see why specifically he was going to hide it from me in a minute. But obviously Kia Picantos have done really well with this shape Kia Picanto. They're super simple cars. They don't really go wrong. They're nippy, they're frugal, they're cheap on road tax, they're cheap on fuel. They've got everything going for them, really. A lot of people sort of look by these, but these little Kia Picantos, I cannot recall, I should jinx myself now, ever having a warranty claim on this shape of Kia Picanto. But it's a strike, this one, so it has some nice features. They can be very base model, you know, like all wind up windows, that kind of thing. But this has got some nice fake alloys. I don't think I've ever had one with real alloys, which could do with whipping off and me doing the stone chip treatment behind them. But the rest of the bodywork is really good. That's the only thing I can really think I'm going to have to do. There's something strange going on down here, like someone's had a go at spraying something. But I don't really think it needs doing, unless someone's very particular. And there's a little sort of a bit here as well. Maybe someone's tried to tidy up a scratch, but it's not actually that bad at all. Dings wise, it's free of dings, and it's free of scrapes on the corners. It's really clean car. Two remotes, and I say not all of these have remotes. A lot of them are manual locking. We've got electric front windows. Interior is in fantastic condition. All the seats are absolutely mint. All the carpets are. It's got the tyre inflate there because one of the tyres was a little bit low. But no scrapes or scratch on the plastic. Look at the gear knob. Looks utterly unused. All of the fabric, brilliant. We've got a little CD player. No USB input, I don't think, on these ones, if I recall correctly. Unless it's so low down I can't see it. No. I think we'll put little Bluetooth adapters now. We have got aircon. And I say CD radio. Oh, it has got auxiliary input. Where's that to then? It says it there. Where is it to then? Is it? No, it's not in the glove box. Where are they hiding that away to? I'm sure it's staring me in the face, and someone's going to tell me, or it might be that it was on other models. I don't know. Can't see it offhand. But this is an interesting one. They've had aftermarket cruise control put on it as well. Never had one with cruise control. Now this is the reason the whole interior is so immaculate, and he was half tempted to keep it for himself and retail. 21,966 miles. It's basically like a new car, this thing. It's got a full service history, I believe, in here. And let me double check that when I say that. And I tell a lie, only up to 17 in there. Oh, here we've got one from 21 here, 12/21. We've got some other receipts in there after 21 for things like brake services, brake replacements, some tyres. It might be that Grant Autos might have some more service history, but we've got that manual there. But 21,000 miles. Obviously, being these simple little cars, you turn the key and it starts on the button. Yeah, really good buy, and I'm glad I was there to see it coming in. Now, I'm having some trouble finding information online about this one. Autotrader's not liking the number plate much, and it's wanting me to manually enter it. And I did struggle to get the online MOT checker working as well. So let's just pop it through Car Vertical and see if that is clever enough to tell me more about the car or not. See if it finds the car. Oh, it's found it. I say I had to manually enter this into Autotrader. It wasn't having any of it. Let's see what the report comes back with then. Right, report is back. It says the mileage is okay, theft is okay, accident's okay, finance okay. So it's all clear on everything. It's the last MOT I want to find out more about. Let's see if it's got that or not. Oh, there was the original number plate there. MOT 5th 2022. So it's going to need an MOT. Let's have a look at the mileage. Yeah, all looks super genuine. Look at that. Just a nice consistent low. What's it doing each year? It's doing maybe like 1,000 miles each year. As always, if you're looking to do similar sorts of checks on a car you're about to buy or one you've already purchased maybe, there'll be a link in the description down below for you to get a discount on your car vertical. Retail for this I'm seeing at, with that mileage on, 2010. I mean, I've sold 2010s with 50-60,000 miles on for 2795, 2895. I think I'm going to go 3995 on that. You're not going to find another. And in the current market, what can you buy this clean with that mileage on for 3995? We'll stick a new MOT on it. We'll do a fresh service on it, and obviously we'll stick the warranty on it as well. And then, yeah, I think that's a fair price for the car. So out in a little Picanto, as you expect, 21,000 miles. Nothing to be complaining about here at all. A little bit of a rattle on the dashboard up there, a little bit of a creak if I'm being particularly picky, but steering wise, tight as a drum. Suspension, no knocks and bangs at all, tight as a drum there as well. Gearbox and steering, lovely. It's a brand new car, isn't it, really? Obviously it literally isn't a brand new car, but it's everything is as new, isn't it? I really do love these little Picantos, as I've said. They're cracking little cars. I've done tons of them. I've done them with 100,000 miles. I've done them with 50,000 miles. This is the lowest mileage I've done so far. They've all been, touch wood, super reliable, no hassle at all. It's another one of those little cars that when the kids go looking for their first car, they should really be looking for one of these. But they end up going for more complex, more convoluted cars that cause them a load of headache and grief and expenditure. But yeah, it's just a cracking little car. Get them on the boil, you know, drop it down a few cogs. I doubt this car's ever done this before, isn't it? Yeah, get it on the boil, drop it down a few cogs, and it's nippy. It's got all the crap you need. Yeah, cracking little car. Right, next up we've got this Golf 2010 5-door Golf. Now I naturally assumed when he first sent me over a picture of this it was going to be a 1.9 diesel. When I turned up, it turns out it's a 1.4 petrol TSI. Now that did worry me slightly until, because it's done 86,000 miles, until I found that it's actually just had a massive service, including a new timing chain. We'll have a look at that receipt in a minute. Bodywork wise isn't the best. It's going to need some paint down here in the corner into that, so it can rear quarter into the bumper. The alloys are diamond cut, and we know diamond cut alloys are the bane of my life, so I'm going to have to do the diamond cut alloy treatment on them. The paint is really quite faded. This front corner is not good. I'm going to have to get a new bumper clip to get that bumper to sit in properly, and we're going to have to get this painted on this corner here as well. The paint overall needs a really good machine polish. It's really quite flat, but we know with a machine polish that's going to come up really well. Bodywork wise, other than those things, it's not. Oh, no, there was a bit dark here on the bumper, so yeah, we're going to have to spend quite a bit on paint on this one to get it looking right, because I do think people are going to want a Golf to be looking top on, and this says someone out there that says they don't actually bothered about it. So like I said, refurb the alloys, get that paint done. They look, like I said, it looks like they looked after it mechanically, just bodywork wise not so good. All round electric windows, electric mirrors. I can't remember what model this sort of trim level this is. I'm not that good on Golfs. 6-speed gearbox. You can see from the obligatory Diet Coke can that I have driven this around. Drives really well. 86,000 miles, as I said. What have we got other than that? Aircon. I think what have we got on here? CD radio. I don't think it's got the parking sensors on this one. I imagine it's got your US auxiliary input here somewhere, being this age. Oh yeah, auxiliary input's there. Interior, actually, to be fair, is absolutely bang on. They just clip lots of stuff on the outside by the looks of it. Right, so let me just have a look at this and see. Oh, someone's already blacked out, so that's ideal. What do we have here? We did investigate a coolant leak from turbo 3rd 2022. That's been sorted. What else have we got here? Not sure what that was for. Let's have a quick look. That was the car not going into gear. So they confirmed and put a slave cylinder on it by the looks of it. Yeah, slave cylinder. So it's had a slave cylinder. It's had a coolant leak from the turbo sorted. That was 6th 2022. So this is all recent work. 7th 2022 they did battery load, rear speed sensor remove and install, a complimentary wash. 2nd 2022 they did brakes, brake kit, caliper, brake pipe. So this person was spending, no wonder they decided they want a part exchange, got fed up spending money on it. Front anti-roll bar and wiper blades. Where was that invoice I found for 2 seconds? Oh, here we go, is the one. They found an oil leak from the sump. Found oil to be leaking from sump and timing chain cover. Requires new seals for timing chain. Recommend replace timing chain whilst doing it. So you had all of that. I did an oil filter at the same time. And on page 2, you've got timing chain tensioner. So yeah, and that was done 3rd 2022. So it's just had new timing chain and service. So and it's obviously had that new pipe work to the turbo as well. So that's a pretty good sign that someone wasn't worried about spending money on it. And the service book is stamped. What we got here? 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Come on, James. 18, 19, 20, 21, and then 22. So we're absolutely up to date with all services as well on it. So like I say, someone that mechanically looked after the car, interior looked after the car, but just had a couple of little bangs on the outside. If we start her up, I have to say this is one of the quietest engines I've heard on anything I've had for an age. Turn the fan off. When it comes off that idle, you can barely hear it, and when you're driving it you can barely hear it, because I have gone for a drive on it. It's nice and punchy. The only thing I'd say, and this is probably the reason that it's been part exchanged, is that I found when I got to 60 mile an hour I could feel sort of vibration from the front. I don't think it was from the wheels, and the accelerator pedal feels a little bit, I mean, I've had this before on these. They feel, does it make sense? They feel short, like you've only got like about that much travel on them. And when I got up to 60, I felt some vibration. So we're going to have to get it checked out, because I don't think it was coming from the wheels. It was almost like we were getting a little bit of fuel starvation or something. And like I say, I wonder if it's related to a throttle pedal sensor or something like that. You guys who know your VWs, does that make any sense to you? Like I say, it drives absolutely perfect. It was when I got up in top gear up to about 60 mile an hour, I could just feel, it didn't feel like wheel vibration. It almost felt like engine vibration. So hopefully that's nothing too major. But as always, it's always a bit of a pump with these. Right, on to the next one. Oh, the owner had just MOT'd this as well, by the way. It had MOT with advisory for 2 tyres, I think. So all we need to do is do the tyres on it and leave the MOT that's on it. So if we can resolve what that wobbling is and get the paint done, we can get this one straight up for sale. Retail wise, this one, once that's all that sorted, so we've got to do the paint, refurb the alloys. Oh, it's a bit of paint there, I just noticed as well. We're going to do quite a few corners on this. So paint, alloys, tyres, find out what the sort of vibration with the engine is. It'll be 4,995. Again, there'll be the boats go, oh, 4,995. Yeah, obviously you can go and buy this off someone's driveway with the dings and dents on it, the badly corroded alloys, and just take it as it is, and none of those things would be sorted out. You could advertise that car with a new MOT on it, because it has got a new one on it with just the advisories of tyres, and someone took it away from you, you wouldn't have to do any of those things, and you might be what, £600-700 cheaper than retail, but you'd have none of that stuff done. Anyway, on to the next one, a little Citroën C1. Again, those of you who watch the channel regularly know I like a C1. They're a really nice little car. They're super cheap to run. The C1s are exactly the same car as the Toyota Aygos, but for some reason Toyota Aygos are so much more expensive, and I don't know why, because this comes with some level of kit. It's got the same engine. Everything's exactly the same about the car, other than the Toyota badge, but you pay a big premium. So I think the Citroëns are the best value of all of them. The only problem with these is the same problem you have with the Peugeots and all of them, and on the Toyotas as well. So Toyota didn't paint them any different areas. They get lack appeal, really bad lack appeal, and this one's not managed to avoid it. We've got a bit of lack appeal there on the front of the bumper. Got a little bit of lack appeal here on the corner. The wing mirrors were really fading lack appealed, and as you may have seen in my car vertical bit earlier, I've got red fingers. That's because I just couldn't even show it like that. I keyed them up. I had some Rosso red from an Alfa Romeo, and it's nearly identical. This was done with 1K lacquer, hence it's a little bit more orange peely than it would be if it doing 2K lacquer, but it took seconds to whip them off, key them up and spray them. I thought it's tidied the car right up straight away doing that. Sometimes, because this is something I just love doing, I jump on things, I don't record them, and I just which we'll discuss in a second with this one, and I just crack on, and I had to do that straight away. So what are we going to do about that? Probably nothing. It's going to be, you'd have to repaint the whole bumper on that. I don't think you get your money back on it. And every other one someone's going to look at is going to have lack appeal on it as well. So the rear bumper's okay. The Peugeot went out the other day with a bit of the lack appeal on it, and the person wasn't really bothered. I think someone would just rather have the car cheaper, to be honest. Mind you, famous last words, I imagine I'll end up starting to fiddle with it and do something, I don't know. The trouble is you can say, right, just take that bit off and then re-lacquer there, but as a general rule, it just keeps peeling further and further and further and further. Someone's put aftermarket wheel trims on. I'm not going to chase down the genuine wheel trims again, they'll be too expensive. I'll just stone chip those and might swap them out for silver wheel trims. I have got a set of silver wheel trims, again, not originals, but I think they'll look better than the black ones, because some of the black ones are cracked as well. First thing you do with your C1, your Aygo, your Peugeot, what is it, 107, get in the back and see if you've got a water leak on the go or not. And this one is dry as a bone, I'm pleased to say. There's no sign it's ever actually had any water in there, which is a minor miracle, because they always leak through this top brake light as a general rule. So yeah, it's it'll polish up okay. Like I said, I don't think we're going to go crazy and do the lacquer on the front. Again, I just don't think people are going to pay the premium in this price point. Inside, one of the other things I had to do straight away was I made a bit of a mess. I've got to clean it up. Is squirt them some white grease on the hinges. They were really creaky, and it was doing my nutting just getting in and out of the car. I've not had one with these kind of like denim-y seats. They're quite nice. Again, they're all in really good nick. Headliners in good nick. All the carpets are in good nick. This one won't actually need too much of a clean up. It's got electric windows. Some of these are manual, like that last one we sold, that Peugeot was manual, wasn't it? We've got the rev counter there. Look at that. That means you're in the bad boy version of these. Everyone you ever has always has a cracked hazard light. Whoever was the manufacturer of these hazard lights needs a bit of a slap, because all they send out these and they just crack every time. Yeah, again, unless if someone's replaced it, yours won't be cracked, but otherwise it will be cracked. They all are. What else have we got on the go on this one? We've got the auxiliary input in this one, which is good. So we can put the little Bluetooth adapter and get the Bluetooth on the go as well. We lucked out here and got another low mileage one, guys. 39,000 miles. What's this on, a 58, I think it is, 58 plate? And we also have a nearly full tank of fuel. I've driven this one as well, like I've driven all of them. Obviously done my test drives on it. It drives like all of these Citroën C1s. That little thrum from the 3-cylinder. Well, I'll turn it on. Little thrum from those 3-cylinder, chain driven, remember, no cam belts to worry about. These tend to be really quite reliable little engines that will do quite big mileage, but parts are so cheap for them if they go wrong. I think last time I had to put a gearbox in one, because I have done a gearbox in one before. I think the gearbox cost me about £120, and even me, ham-fisted Harding, it took me about 3 hours max to change the gearbox out. Literally no problems at all. So yeah, it's nice little car. It'll do well. I think it's got a good service history if I remember rightly. No, tell a lie, I'm mixing them up again. This one's got a service 2009, 10, 12, and then jumps to 19, and then 2021. So again, who's to know if there was anything else done in between. We've got the service but there. Again, they're tough little engines. They just need oil and filter for the servicing. Obviously this one's done low mileage, so the chances of it suffering from not had the servicing compared to one of the high mileage ones is less so. Now, the only thing this one threw up for me on the MOT was had some advisories for some rust underneath near some of the where was it? Was it near some of the anchor points, whatever? But it looks like someone might have had that done. Although I'm going to tidy it up because they've just put black stone chip over the top of it, so it looks like there's a little patch down there in that corner. So that needs tidying up with a little bit of paint. It'll look a lot better. So I'll have to go back down to the boys. I'll need to check what's been done on that. So we'll have to go down and get a new MOT on that one. I don't want to trust what may or may not have been done on it. So retail wise for this, even with that mileage, it's not massively expensive. I think this is 2,995. This will be going up for. I say with a new MOT on it. We'll do a service on it, oil and filter, air filter. Get the boys to, like I say, put a new advisory free MOT on it. Again, it'd be a nice little cheap run around with decent mileage on it. Like I say, I think we won't do anything about this because it's how far do you go. I think we'd have to have the whole bumper painted. Now, last one is this Freelander. Now, I have to be honest and admit something to you here, guys. This car came in absolutely hanging, and I just went hell for leather on it and just didn't record any of it. Sometimes I just get into the zone and I forget that I'm a YouTuber and I forget to record stuff, and I didn't record any of it. The only thing I've recorded, I'll show you in a minute because I was so chuffed with it, is the headlights. Now you might think these were faded and horrible, and you might think I spent hours sanding them or machine polishing them. Well, I didn't. Let me just insert the clip on what I did with these because I'm blown away by the result on it. Right, gang, you know I love Owatrol for treating plastics. It was something that was recommended to you by you guys, one of you guys actually, and I use it for plastics all the time. Not sponsored content, by the way. I've never been in touch with them. It takes this grey plastic like this, put it on like that, and it turns it into a lovely glossy black. So I'm always trying different stuff with it, and I think you saw a video where I put it on the bonnet of a Micra that had faded paint and it made a big improvement. I just found something it does really well as well. Literally just found it out a few seconds ago. So, faded headlight, you want to spend hours polishing? No. Bung this on. Because it's plastic after all, isn't it? Bung the Owatrol on. Get it nicely all over, nice and even. Look at that. Look at that. We're going to leave it for a few minutes and then wipe it off. But what, if you're flipping cars and you need a quick solution for tidying up, I did it on the other side. Still got to wipe it off. Makes the headlights like new in seconds. Fantastic stuff. I do need to get in touch with these guys. I'm using it so much. But there is a link in the video description through to my Amazon shop where you can get this stuff. But if you're flipping cars and you want to make them look smart quickly, this is the stuff to use. I've done all the body kit, wing mirrors on this Freelander, and this Freelander, I wish I'd videoed it before I'd started on this. Freelander looked awful. I did all the roof rails. It makes it really, really pop, and it's really quite efficient as well. With a brush you can spread it out a long way. Anyway, I better stop waxing lyrical about it until I get a sponsorship deal with them, but no, highly recommended. Now that was about 24 hours ago, and look at them, still looking fantastic. That's going to speed up restoring headlights in a big way, because that's all that's happened. That's the reason they go milky, is because the oils have come out of them and they've faded. So anyway, back to the car. 2005, when I came in, it was absolutely lagged with mud everywhere. There was silver gaffer tape all around the wing mirrors because they've gone floppy. And they obviously were trying to stop them blowing about. And I think we can come up with a better solution for that. Maybe even just tiger sealing them solid like that. You wouldn't go and replace the wing mirrors, I don't think, unless you really wanted to, because the price point for this car isn't much. Other than that, you know, it could do with the machine polish if you really want to tidy it up. But all the plastics were faded. Obviously, I've given them a treatment. There was so much mud up in the arches. The wheels were really covered in brake dust, so I gave that a clean off as well. And it's actually come up really, really well. Really well. I just get such satisfaction from doing that. That's what I say. That's why I got carried away and did it without recording for you guys. Inside, again, was sky high in straw, pebbles, mud. I think there was half of Devon in here, but I gave it a good hoover out, and it actually came up really nicely. It had genuine Land Rover mats in it, which tidied up. The headliner isn't the best. I need to try and clean a little bit off there. It's sagging a bit towards the back there, but with these cheap cars, and I want to say it, and I say it time and time again, when cars are cheap like this, you cannot go and try and fix everything on it. You cannot restore the car. You need to really be running them. If you buy them cheap like this, you really need to be running them, only replacing the things you absolutely need to. Otherwise, you might as well just go and buy a better one in the first place, go and spend more money on a newer car. These, you get mechanically sound, and you live with some of the stuff. Like, obviously I'd like to go and get a gear lever gator for that. And which I would do if I was going to retail it, but I've actually already sold this. I sent a couple of pictures to somebody and they've already bought it. What else have I got to tell you about it? The mileage, let's have a quick look at that a second. You can see this is actually a decent spec one. It's got the all-round electric windows, electric mirrors. It's got the Harman Kardon sound system on it. Harman Kardon, is that right? Yeah. And it's obviously got the leather, but it's also got heated seats. It's got the air conditioning. So yeah, it's actually quite a decent spec one. Now the battery was dead earlier because I left all the lights on it when I was cleaning it. We'll see if it 128,993 miles. Yeah, battery's dead. I need to put the battery on charge. But it did start well, and I drove it a number of miles and it drove really, really well. And I think I've got some footage of that which I'm probably going to put in a second. Well, I have to say, for as cosmetically challenged as the old Freelander is, it's actually quite a decent drive. A few rattles and creaks from the dashboard, but the gearbox is okay, it's smooth enough. Steering's nicely weighted, brakes okay. Try and go for a 6th gear, I haven't got a 6th, have I? There's no clunking from the suspension, there doesn't seem to be any driveline shunt from the prop shaft. And that diesel engine actually, it picks up really quite nicely. Here we are in 5th, put my foot down, big old wedge of torque, and off she goes. Oh, look at that Austin A35, I hope you guys can see that. That's a cool little car. It's got on mini lights. I've always wanted an Austin A35 on mini lights and a fast road engine. But I guess you'd probably run out of space if you haven't to write out the number of cars I said I want, wouldn't you? Like I said at the beginning, there's one other car that I don't have here that I'm picking up later on that I agreed at the same time, and that was going to be a vehicle much more expensive than the rest of these here. That was a 2013 Honda CR-V automatic 2.2 diesel, which I think is probably nearer like a 10 grand car with auto prices at the moment. I think it had about 85,000 miles, and the Honda's obviously a higher price anyway. I think I told what was it, 2007, 2008 CR-V manual with 100 and something odd thousand miles, and I think that was like 4 grand and a bit, wasn't it, or something, a little while ago. So the Hondas do tend to hold their value. So yeah, comment down below. As always interested in your feedback and thoughts on my little lineup there. We're getting quite full again outside. We've still got to do something with the logo, but I've been bombing around in that for a bit. We got the Hyundai i10 that's going down for paint. I'm getting the Corsa back from paint. Malcolm's finished that now. You can probably start to see my game plan now, guys, that I'm kind of holding off a little bit. I've not been advertising the cars. I've been holding off. What I'd like to do is sort of remark it again, and I should have at that point about 5 or 6 proper small little runabouts. If I can get the micro finished as well and get cracking with the Spark, I'm going to have a small CC runabout cars starting from around about 2.5k through to about 5k. A little bit of something for everyone. So I think, mind you, know what's going to happen as normal is people are going to rock up and buy them in between. And I'm going to end up not. I always have this idea that I'm going to have this nice little website or forecourt full of a range of small cars, but then people come pick them off one by one at a time, don't they? Anyway, thanks as always for watching. watching my babbling, watching me chat about buying motors. You know there'll be more very soon. You know I can't stop buying stuff even when I'm full up like this. So if you aren't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. There's been a lot of cases as the system actually unsubscribing for people. People thought they were subscribed and didn't realise they were actually unsubscribed. So do me a favour, just check below that you are subscribed, because it really helps the channel. Obviously give the video a thumbs up, because then it'll recommend to other people with similar interests to yours. As always, thanks a lot. Catch you again soon.